You buy a home warranty expecting backup for when the AC fails or the fridge dies. But when it's your turn to file a claim, are you really protected or just stuck paying for another problem? In this video, we'll take a closer look at the most common household problems, what home warranty companies swear by, and what you actually get when the problem hits. Help or just another headache for your money. Hi, it's Daniel. Welcome to the PissedConsumer channel. Let's start with HVAC, the crown jewel in almost every home warranty pitch. Cinch loves to highlight its 180-day workmanship guarantee and even claims some pre-existing issues are covered. Sounds reassuring, right? If your AC breaks down in the middle of summer, you'd think they'd step in fast, but that isn't what reviewers describe. Some talk about sitting in 88-degree heat for weeks with no technician ever showing up. Others pay their deductibles only to be told later their repair wasn't covered. No refund, no fix, just more frustration. First American takes a different approach, selling HVAC protection in tiers. The higher the tier, the safer you should feel. But in reality, the caps, $500 to $1,500, barely cover the cost of a single part. One reviewer went through 5 technician visits in the dead of winter, spent more than a month waiting, and still had to pay $1,600 out of pocket after the claim was reclassified as not covered. That doesn't sound like protection to me. And then there's American Home Shield, the one that markets itself as the heavy hitter, up to $5,000 in HVAC coverage. No age limits, even wear and tear included. But in practice, specialty units max out at $1,500, nowhere near the real cost. One customer needed a $1,400 compressor replaced and got just $400 back. Another spent more than a week without AC in peak summer heat, shuffled from one misdiagnosis to another, while nothing was actually fixed. And finally, Fidelity National. They highlight HVAC as a core part of their standard and comprehensive plans. Naturally, that makes you expect stability when the system fails. But one Redditor said it took 3 months and more than 30 phone calls to finally get $3,000 reimbursed. Others report long delays with no clear timeline for service. Now let's move to plumbing and to leaks, another area the warranties love to spotlight. Fidelity National says it covers plumbing, ductwork, even septic and pools. It sounds like a lifesaver if a pipe bursts or if a leak spreads, right? But customers say the safety net disappears fast. One reviewer described a simple pipe leak that was misdiagnosed until it spiraled into $12,000 in water damage and black mold. Fidelity refused to reimburse. Another customer waited 3 months for plumbing repairs, got no updates, and was told to hire another plumber at own expense. Cinch also stresses that leaks and disposal fees are covered. In reality, homeowners talk about paying deductibles only to have their claims stall or even get reversed later. One customer reported an active leak dragging on for 10 days as appointments were canceled and rescheduled. And when a private plumber was actually hired, the job just took 2 hours. First American puts plumbing in every tier, which makes it sound reliable. But reviews tell a different story. Leaks reclassified into cheaper categories so payouts can shrink. And endless contract handoffs with no real fix. Costs just keep piling up. And American Home Shield, their plans advertise plumbing protection with add-ons like roof leak coverage. But reviewers describe urgent issues dismissed as maintenance problems. For example, this Reddit user said a leak flooded the kitchen, but American Home Shield made him wait weeks for repairs and refused to cover the water damage. The promise is quick help in an emergency. The reality is slow responses, caps, and shifting blame that leave homeowners covering for the mess themselves. Finally, let's talk appliances, the everyday essentials no household can go long without. American Home Shield promotes itself as the one-stop fix for kitchen and laundry breakdowns, advertising payouts up to $2,000 per unit. At first glance, that sounds like real coverage. But reviewers describe contractors who never show up, parts stuck on back order for weeks, and claims denied with excuses like too old. Users end up living without basics while the company drags its feet. With Fidelity, things like your fridge, washer, or dryer don't come with a basic plan. You only get them if you pay for the higher coverage or you add them on. But even with that in mind, one reviewer described being without a refrigerator for 2 months as groceries spoiled, while Fidelity kept delaying before finally arranging a replacement. Cinch claims that if something cannot be repaired, it'll be replaced. Yet, some customers say they're trapped in endless repair attempts. One reviewer described 7 separate washer repairs in less than a year, parts swapped out again and again. Another user said the same happened for months until Cinch finally replaced the machine after a public complaint. First American also sells appliance coverage as part of its tiered plans. Starter includes refrigerator and dishwasher. Essential adds washer and dryer, while Premium extends to luxury appliances. But reviewers still tell of stalled claims and shifting explanations that left them paying out of pocket. So, while the brochures promise you won't be stranded without your fridge or washer or stove, the reality is spoiled food, piles of laundry, and machines patched together so poorly they barely work. When you look at Cinch, Fidelity National, First American, and American Home Shield side by side, the stories might sound different in detail, but the pattern is almost identical. Homeowners sign up expecting certainty, only to find contracts built with enough fine print to delay, deny, or water down coverage when it matters most. It's not just one slow claim or one low payout. The way these warranties are made gives companies room to stall, cap, or redefine repairs so the bill lands back on the homeowner. That's why so many reviews across all 4 companies echo the same frustration. The protection that sounded solid on the front end crumbles when it's tested. So where does that leave you? You have a choice. You can go with a plan, knowing the risks, or you can skip the middleman and build your own repair fund. There isn't one perfect answer, but one thing is clear. Just don't read the promises, look at the patterns as well. If this video helped, leave a like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.